Hey guys, my name is John. You're listening to the Tech Data Pro podcast. It is Sunday, the 27th of October, 2024. You're very welcome, guys. Hope you had a nice week. So, as we near the end of the year, like many of you, I have a lot of project deadlines that are rapidly approaching. Q4 in a company tends to be a very busy time when we are closing projects while opening planning and budgeting for the following year. It tends to be a time when we just get really busy, trying to get lots of stuff done before the Christmas break. For one of my projects, some topics have certain risks that are not closed yet. That always makes me nervous. This week I was discussing with the product manager that we need to address those topics now, rather than leaving them to the very end. The reason why I want to do this is simple. If there is undiscovered additional work required for those risky topics, it is better to discover them while there is still enough time to actually do something about it. So put simply, if you leave it till the end, it's often too late to do anything about it. So to give you a simple example, if we have a task that we think is going to take 3 days, for example, and we leave it till the end of the project when there's only 3 days remaining, then we start looking at the task, we realize it's not a 3-day task, it's actually a 3-week task. Now we're late. It's too late, we can't get it done on time. And that's just a trivial example, of course, but the reality is that when we start to actually look at a task, we can realize that our estimates were no good. They were just wildly optimistic, and suddenly we find that there's lots of additional work in there that we didn't account for in the original plan. So you want to front load your risk. According to the dictionary, the front load means, quote, to assign costs or benefits to the early stages of, such as a contract, project, or time period, end quote. So here I am talking about risk, which you can certainly consider to be a form of cost if those risks come true. And according to the dictionary definition that I just read to you, it's always better to front load those risks at the beginning of your project. I see this anti-pattern in all aspects of life, however, all of the time. People will often delay the difficult topics, instead choosing to concentrate on low-hanging fruit or easier topics instead. As a strong leader, we always tackle the hard topics first, as we know that is where the risk is, especially when those topics are on the critical path of a project. In other words, you can't complete the project until those topics are also completed. As a leader, you must train your teams to take the same approach. They must not be tempted to avoid such topics, and it is your job to remind them to stay on track. Hit the hard topics hard and fast, and see what falls out. If no additional work materializes, then great. If additional work does materialize, then at least you have some time to do something about it. So apart from worrying about project risk as we enter into the final straits of this year, what else did I do this week? I have been working hard to see if I can add some search suggestions and autocomplete functionality to grepper.org, which is my web search engine. As you know, when you use a web search engine like Google, when you start to type, Google will start to guess what it thinks you're searching for, and it will make some suggestions and it will autocomplete the text box for you. I've been looking to add similar functionality into grepper, and doing a lot of research into various different techniques for doing this. Most of those techniques assume that you have a small index and that building a dictionary of suggestions is a trivial thing to do. But unfortunately now in grepper, you may say I'm a bit of a victim of some success insofar as my index is quite large. I've got over 7 million documents in there right now. So building those suggestion dictionaries based upon that index is actually a difficult and time-consuming task, requiring a lot of hardware and a lot of time. And I'm finding that some of those long-running processes are, they're crashing out basically halfway through. So I haven't solved this yet. It's something that will require some additional work and additional R&D on my side. But I'm hoping that I can get it working, hopefully by the end of the year, because I think it is something that, will add a lot of good functionality to the end user, and it's something that I think most end users have come to expect from a search engine like grepper. So fingers crossed I'll be able to figure it out and get it working. Okay, we'll leave it there, guys. I hope you have a good week ahead. I hope if you're like me that you're trying to close a bunch of projects, that you close them all successfully, and then you can switch off your laptops and enjoy your Christmas with your family and friends. I will talk to you next week. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.